they don't make them like they used to. And the prime example for that is the Mercedes CLS, because I think that it was the best car they have ever built. They are grand coupes that look absolutely stunning. They have a whole lot of practical space, and as top range Mercedes models, they are super comfortable. They also are somewhat reliable because they are based on an E-Class platform, but repairs will be expensive of course. There are a total of 3 generations of the CLS, and with the introduction of the first generation in 2004, they made one of the first grand coupes in the world, and this car heavily influenced their future design language, so it's very important for the brand. I also really like the rear end, and the front is okay too, but you need to get used to it first. They might only have 5 or 7 speed automatic transmissions, but they have awesome engines. And the first generation is also rear-wheel drive only. A 3-liter V6 turbo diesel that produced about 224 horsepower was the only diesel you could get in this generation. Then there are the 3 and 3.5 liter V6s that make about 231 to 291 horsepower, and the rest are V8s. You get 5 and 5.5 liter V8s that put out about 206 to 388 horsepower, and then in the AMG versions you had a supercharged 5.5 liter V8 that made 476 horsepower in the 55 version, and in the 63 you get the 6.2 liter V8 that produced 514 horsepower, but with just under 2 metric tons, they are pretty heavy. So they also use a lot of fuel, but for their weight, size and age, they are pretty fast. And the production line ended in 2010. They then built the second generation from 2011 to 2018, and this one is one of my all-time favorite cars. It basically is the most beautiful generation. They have even better rear ends than the first gen, and the front is actually beautiful, and you can even get them as a shooting grade, which is like a coupe wagon, which is pretty cool. They come with 7 or 9 speed automatic transmissions, and you definitely get more engine options than in the first gen. They are 2.1 liter twin turbo inline 4 diesels that make about 170 to 204 horsepower, then the 3 liter V6 turbo diesels that make about 250 to 265 horsepower, and then for the gasoline options you get 3.5 liter V6s, either twin turboed or naturally aspirated, that get you like 250 to 333 horsepower, and then a 4.6 liter twin turbo V8 and clean 408 horsepower. Then in the 63 AMG, a 5.5 liter twin turbo V8 with 557 to 585 horsepower. They are a little lighter than the previous generation, so they are faster and a bit more efficient. The third generation, which started production in 2018, is already a little more different, and its production will end in August of 2023, and there will not be a follow-up model. This is gonna be the last CLS, and it sadly is less exciting than the older ones. The most important thing right away, there is no V8 anymore. You get 9-speed automatic transmission, an optional all-wheel drive, and the engines start with 2 liter inline 4 diesels, either turbocharged or twin turboed, and they make about 194 to 265 horsepower. Then you can get 3 liter inline 6 turbo diesels that put out about 286 to 340 horsepower. And now gasoline again, 1.5 and 2 liter inline 4 hybrids that make about 200 to 310 horsepower. You could also get a 3 liter inline 6 hybrid with 390 horsepower. And then in the AMGs, the 53 version has a 3 liter inline 6 hybrid with 450 horsepower, and there's no 63 anymore. And somehow they are heavier and slower than the second generation. What the hell? And after 2 minutes of just talking about engines, let's get to the design. And I generally love the CLS lineup. They have these awesome characteristics like their super long hoods, their slim window profiles, those raindrop rear lights, as well as their strong shoulder lines and their overall aerodynamic coupe shape. They are a very special mix of S-Class comfort, E-Class build quality and sporty coupe design that really makes them stand out among other Mercedes models, and especially all of those new ones. These days, cars just lack all the detail. They look boring and super similar. I love grand coupes anyways. Hints that this is the third video in a row about them. And for me personally, the second gen CLS is sharing my number 1 spot with the F06 Generation 6 series. They are just so beautiful and a very interesting way for a sporty luxury car. And another important thing is of course practicality, and it's pretty decent with these cars. Even though they look sporty and elegant, they are very big cars, so they have a good amount of space. They are pretty similar to the E-Class because they share the same platform. And if you need more space, just buy the shooting grade. But you should still have enough for normal use anyways. So for things like shopping, traveling, road trips and taking some people with you. The last point is technology and features. And as top level luxury cars that are arranged just under the S-Class and the CL, so right in the upper class, you get full leather anything, super crazy LED tech, all the assistance you will never need, dynamic air suspension, night vision, active parking assistance. You should get the point. Just the best of the best anything. I would love to own a second gen CLS as the facelift version at some point in the future. I just adore this car. But anyways, I hope you liked the video right now, so thanks a lot for watching and I hope to see you in another video.